Hello, Youngstown Click, and welcome back to another episode. Guys, I am about to interview the very first guy on this show because obviously we just got started. And I am so excited to introduce to you my friend, Robert Reams. Just a little bit about Robert. A few years ago, we decided we were going to go explore all these local spots. And we kind of got stuck on one particular, we found a favorite and we kind of got stuck on it, which was a kitchen post, which I found out. Did you know that they're only open like one day now, one day a week? Did you know that, Robert?
Yeah, I try to pay attention on social media. I don't know. I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah.
I try
Well,
to.
so we decided we were going to go visit a lot of little local places, and we both love talking about ideas and big ideas and dreams and all that kind of thing. And then we found the Kitchen Post and loved their tacos, so we kind of stuck with them. And then obviously life gets busy and stuff, but this is a fellow dreamer, fellow entrepreneur, and I want to introduce you to him. He's actually from Niles, but as you guys know, when I say Youngstown, I mean the whole area between the Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So when I say Youngstown, I mean Warren, Niles, all the places in between there, because this is us. This is all of us together. We could drive through. Some things are planned out in the country because it's, greater space out there, but this is us. And I believe that people are the best asset of this area, and we just got to get to know each other. And I'm so excited to be doing this because creating these connections, letting you introduce, now was my friend, now he's your friend, and you're going to get to know a little bit about him. His name is Robert Reams, and we're just going to jump right into this. So Robert, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to
And
be here.
thank you. You mentioned to me we just kind of got back in touch recently. But you mentioned that your life has been like a roller coaster lately, and I know that last time we had talked, you were doing some insurance and some investments and that type of thing. So catch us all up on what's been going on in your life, how the national and global pandemic and the fallout of that has affected you,
hmm
and just fill us in.
Yeah, so basically, it's been pretty crazy with everything that's been happening. About a year and a half ago, I started doing more telesales, like on the phone. I did that for about like a year or so. I still do it. I mainly do like the life insurance as like a side hustle. Halfway through last year, I picked up more doing like, Medicare, because I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I wanted to stabilize my life a little bit. I don't know if anybody has had to do life insurance and do just that. It's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
Dealing with all those challenges. So that being said, kind of branched out a little bit. Being independent, you could kind of add different things on how you want. So, discovered kind of like doing Medicare. So I'm kind of in that phase right now.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
and then in March, it was crazy actually to, even further stabilize, things. I picked up a job, selling cars, did that for 2 weeks, got laid off.
I
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, that's what you got laid off from because of this whole thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah. So my mindset was, you know what, let me just try to find a job, maybe with some stable income. Maybe I could,
yeah.
be a little bit less stressful. Well, that didn't really, that
Uh,
2 weeks laid off because of the virus, as with most people are. Um, then, I was laid off, went back to doing the insurance. I was doing the insurance as a side hustle during that time. Um, tried to make it work. You still got to pay bills.
yeah, of course.
Um, the markets were tanking, was losing some money in the stock market, even though I'm not trying to touch or use that money, but it still doesn't feel good seeing that dip down.
No.
Um, yeah, yeah. So that was
Especially you. I know that you're like you're like a investments guy. You want to make sure that everything.
well, you do the best you can. You try to pay attention, you study, you learn, find good places to put money, based on trends and, what the markets will look like. Well, it wasn't too fun watching everything tank down. I tried to prepare and, put some money in different things, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes back up, but you just never know.
Yeah.
Um, so during that time, I was, laid off doing the insurance again, for another, couple weeks. I still do it. I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah.
Um, and found another job, and seems to be working now. So just trying to go
Right.
with the flow. That's something that's completely different. You know, a few years ago, I was very structured. Wanted to know what was going on.
That's
Wanted
the
to.
Robert I know. That's the
I
Robert I know.
know.
What?
I know. Then things just
You just
changed.
realized there's only so much you could control.
Yeah. Sometimes some things you literally can't. You just gotta react, adjust, and do the best you can. That's all you could do.
Was that a hard
All it is.
process? I mean, because that's quite a leap to go from being pretty structured, pretty like planning what's going to happen the next month and stuff, to just saying, getting to the point of realization that you could do your best, but you can't control everything. Was that a hard process for you?
Um, and because of my personality, not really. As you know, for me, I'm a pretty laid back person for the
Yeah.
most part. So for me, it was just kind of like, yeah, all right, no worries, moving on. You
Oh,
know, sometimes you can't. What I found in life is it's not good to, try to. How do I want to say it? Sometimes it's not good to, put too much heart into one thing, knowing that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
of course.
You don't.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know, you could you could be driving to work and get hit by a car. You know, your job could all of a sudden at any time tell you, hey, your services are no longer needed. You never know. So
Yeah.
for me, you kind of want to have like the mindset of just do the best you can, make the most of the
Yeah.
situation and the things that you're given. And if it changes, it changes. Just make the most of the next situation. That's all you could do.
Now, how I'm going to guess the answer to this question, but it probably helps to have. I know that you have a pretty steady girlfriend,
Correct. Yes.
long term, and so she's been pretty supportive through
Hmm.
this, and that probably helps through change to have somebody who's by your side and kind of helping you. You know what I'm saying? Bounce things off. That's probably help when you're going through so much other change to know that you're
Hmm.
not alone. You got somebody by your side like that. So that's good.
Absolutely. It does help for sure. I would say like during all the times when I was 100% commission doing the insurance, it definitely helped that she was the stable income at the time.
Yeah.
Again, this outbreak happened, and then all of a sudden, well, she got laid off too. So so we were both laid off. I had the side hustles of the insurance, so I could do that. As because I'm independent contractor, so you could kind of work your own hours and stuff. So I
Right.
had that for a little bit, and then yeah, just make the most of it. And then I was like, you know what, I need to take a job, which I never thought I would say that. I haven't had like a quote unquote job in about 6 years,
Yeah.
where you have to show up at a certain time, you have to do certain things, you get off at a certain time, you have to request off. That was foreign for me because I haven't had that in about 6 years.
Right.
So
Right.
like I said, you never know. And then that whole situation flipped. She was the stable income, why my income was all over the place, and then it flipped around. Now I'm more the stable one, and why we try to navigate through these waters. That's all
Yeah.
you can do.
All you can do.
I was
Right. So
very
before,
fortunate to have the opportunity, to have a job and an income right now.
oh,
So.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was just talking to some people yesterday and we were talking about that, and
Mhm.
just so many different stories, so many different scenarios. Before we go into a little bit about what you do for fun and kind of like some of the passions and
Mhm.
experiences that you've had, tell us a little bit about just maybe like a 60 seconds about Medicare. Like I used to do Medicare Advantage. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay. Oh,
And
nice. I did
yeah,
not know
yeah.
that.
So I got started it when I lived in Florida, and then I transferred. So then I was licensed in Florida and in Ohio, and so
Mhm.
I spent quite a bit of time going around and talking to seniors, and I loved that part of it.
Mhm.
The structured part of it, there's so many laws and rules, making sure that people don't get taken advantage of. So
Right.
it wasn't the right fit for long term for me. But as far as meeting people
Mhm.
and talking to people and really helping them step into, so for those people who don't understand what a Medicare Advantage plan is, when they hear that, they see it on TV. 60 seconds, just kind of explain what that is and the benefits of it.
So basically, I guess started into it at the end of last year, probably September, October, as out of necessity, right before the annual enrollment period. Um, and basically, it's I made the Medicare Advantage is the primary ones, the primary thing that I do.
Yeah.
It seems to be a good fit for the families that I've been working with. The supplements have their place as well, for sure. Would never say one thing
Okay.
is the best.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. It's based off the need, what you need and what you could afford and what you want to have taken care of based on the situation. So I don't want to get too much into details, but, it's a lot of families, the low income families that I work with, they don't realize that, they can have access to some of those plans even if you're under the age of 65.
Right.
Because a lot of times when people think Medicare, they think, okay, once you retire over 65. Not always the case.
Right.
So, we just, again, just try to, like one of my other insurance broker friends just say, and says all the time, the key is just take care of the people.
Yeah,
So it is.
exactly, exactly. So basically, for those of you who don't even know what this term is, real quick, you have when somebody's on Medicare, or sometimes when they're disabled before they reach Medicare age,
Correct.
Medicare is through the government, and then what happens is they allow private companies such as United Healthcare and Blue Cross Blue Shield and Anthem, all these different ones. I know I'm thinking of another one with a C, but anyway, so they allow these private companies to kind of take over the legwork of the Medicare plans. And so what happens is a lot of these private companies offer a little bit more than the government would. And it's beneficial to them. They get lower drug prices a lot of times. So it's kind of like there's the supplement, but basically when you hear Medicare Advantage, for those of you who don't know, it's basically, they already have Medicare through the government, but
it fills in the gap. It covers the other 20.
Yes. And for a lot of times, many times, it's very little monthly cost, and a lot of times no cost to the person, to the client. So that's what Medicare Advantage plan is. And again, guys, you now know Robert. So if you don't know anybody who you can kind of see, Medicare Advantage plans often, like if you have an elderly grandma or neighbor or somebody close to you, a lot of Medicare Advantage plans offer what they call silver sneakers. And so they could go to free gyms. They could find something to actually keep them active. So there's a lot of that included in that. So if there is somebody who who only has Medicare, who might want to look into something like that, you guys now know Robert. That's not why he came on today, but I just want to shout that out because it is something that really does help a lot of people.
Yeah, just a resource here to help. That's all at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Robert, you are when we talked last, you are a wine connoisseur. You love your wine, right?
Yes,
so you're part of this
I guess you could say that.
Yes. So you were telling me that you were part of a wine club where you got to discover new wines and stuff like that recently, kind of stopped. But I don't know, top three wine selections that like, what would be your go-to? And not that you were a go-to drinker, but like, what would be what would be 3 top picks of wine that you would like? Because I know this is a passion of yours.
Right. So one of the best ones that I've had within the last couple years is, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Orin Swift. I like 8 Years in the Desert. That is one of the better wines that I've had over the last couple years for sure. And it's not super expensive either. You could usually find it. Now, when I say super expensive, $45 to $50. To me, that's not really that expensive. I don't know if that's expensive for most people.
To me, it's expensive. That's expensive.
Okay. No, because I've seen, there's bottles that, of wine, wines in thousands, thousands. So, but yeah, that's one of the best ones that I've had in a.
What is it called? 8 Years in the Desert?
8 Years in the Desert.
Okay.
Has a cool story behind it too. So I really like that one. There's another one that's, if you like more of like a sweeter one, it's more of like a dessert wine. It's called Sangue di Giuda. It's an Italian red wine. It's excellent. Now you could get that one, at the grocery store for like $15.
Okay.
That one is, if somebody doesn't like that wine, I'd be shocked. I haven't really met anyone who doesn't like that wine. Now, 8 Years in the Desert or the drier wines might be a more acquired taste. But that Sangue di Giuda, that one is, a $15 bottle that, you can find at a grocery store that's really good in its quality from Italy. So those two would be like my top two.
Your top two. Okay.
I would say I would just those go with that. I mean, there's hundreds of really good ones that I like. of
Right.
course. So, but those two like ones really stick out for sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Every time I go to Michael Alberini's and I see their wine selection, the whole thing just looks intimidating to me. I don't even go over it. I don't even go over it.
I know, right? It can be.
But I'm sure that, yeah, I'm sure that they get pretty expensive, the
Oh yeah.
dollar bottles and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But yeah.
Hmm.
So, okay. So you obviously talking about Italy,
Hmm.
and we all know what has recently taken place in Italy. And I know you're a third Italian, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. So, you actually went to Italy a couple of years ago, right?
I did. I was fortunate enough that the second time I got to go. I went first in I think it was 15, and I
Okay.
went again in 18. Yeah, 18. Um, so yeah, it's quite the experience. Got to went to Sicily on the island, and then also went into Rome, which is a completely different than Sicily. And then this time I just went south and then Rome. I didn't go up north, but
Okay. So when you see the pictures of the streets bare and all that stuff, is that kind
it
of weird for you?
it's crazy. The ones in Milan, especially in it's a little area called Porta Genoa or Nabii.
Okay.
It's just a canal of just bars and restaurants for like a quarter mile or a mile, and to
Wow.
see that bare is crazy because when I was there, when we went on there on at like 10, 11 at night on like throughout the week, like
Yeah.
weekdays, there's families out with like little kids. Um, just having a good time, and it's just packed like shoulder to shoulder throughout the whole canal, and to see that empty, that's pretty crazy. Same thing with the Duomo in Milan. um
Okay.
that whole area being empty by the Galleria, that's pretty crazy as well. I didn't never you never think of something like that happening, so it's just really tragic what's been going on in the world right now. So
Yeah.
hopefully we could get through this. We're all kind of along for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Wow. Yeah. It's one thing to see it on TV,
Hmm.
because I don't like, for example, I've never been to Italy, so I don't have anything to relate it to. Like if you had showed me, other travels, I'd be like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean, to see that. But I'm
Hmm.
sure to have been there, for any of you guys who are watching this to have been to Italy and then to see the pictures, I can't even imagine to
I
see
know it's a tragedy.
your own difference. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we are going to go um to
Hmm.
local news,
Hmm.
local favorites. Okay, now you were born and raised in this area, right?
Yeah,
This
the
is your
Warren
home.
Holland area. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your favorite thing about Youngstown, this whole area? I know you're not from the city of Youngstown, but this whole area. What is your favorite thing about this area? Like, it took me moving to New York City to realize how special. I mean, I lived in Oklahoma, Florida, New York City, but I realized there's certain things that I could tell you is unique to Youngstown, and I didn't find any of these other places. So, what is your favorite thing that this whole region or this area has to offer, or just that you love?
Uh, the favorite thing I would have to say, it's hard to narrow it down because I'm pretty optimistic. I don't mind this area at all. I like it. That's obviously I haven't left. So one thing I obviously like in wine a lot. I like the Italian culture that's in this
Oh
area.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of it. I don't want to sound like a glutton, but like the the uh, the Briar Hill pizza, that's amazing.
yes,
From like St. Anthony's, places like that. Um, a lot of the local restaurants, it's kind of cool getting to know a lot of the local restaurant owners in this
yeah,
area, just, because they're, pretty, available, I guess you could say. Um, so things like that, all the connections are from the people that are here. And just the family vibes, I guess you could say.
yeah. And
This
I
is
could,
a mob area at one time. So,
right, right. I
yeah.
could, I could definitely appreciate that, because I think that that's what's so special about a lot of places is the mom
Mhm.
and pop restaurants.
Yep.
Obviously everybody has their part and everything, but we do have that heritage. Kravitz
Yeah. Oh,
Deli
yeah.
is just about to, I just shared it on the Facebook Youngstown Click Facebook page. Kravitz Deli is about to celebrate their 50 years on Belmont.
Yes, they got some amazing sandwiches too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Oh yeah.
their salmon lox, oh my goodness, so good, so good. We met there one time, didn't we?
I think we did. I'm
We
pretty
did.
sure we did.
That's one of our local. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Wow. See,
Mhm.
guys, this is not just for show. I really do love the local areas There's
Mhm.
so many great restaurants around here that just aren't even
Exactly.
on the radar half the time. You know, everybody's going to Olive Garden or Lone Star. I mean, not Lone Star.
Yeah.
Not Lone Star. That's been a while. That's been gone.
Yeah, it's been a while since that's been gone.
Longhorn, Longhorn. That's what I was thinking.
Right, right, right.
Anyway, okay. So with that said, give some of your favorite spots, like that everybody that you just feel like everybody in the region should at least try and know about.
So I really like right now. So the places I go to a lot, I go to Barrel 33 in Howland a lot.
What is that?
Um, so it's kind of like a small tapas area, um, tapas bar type place. They have,
Okay,
he sells wine. I know the owner pretty well at this point because I've gone there so many times.
that's
Um, really good food. Also some craft beers as well. I
okay.
don't just drink, just wine. Do a little bit of everything. My
Right,
palate
and
palate changes all the time. So
of course. Is it? You said that's in Howland.
yeah, that's over in Howland.
Okay, I've never
Um,
heard of
Another really good place that I like Cava Tapas and Wine Bar. That place
that.
is really good. It's right up on Nile, right in Niles there.
Okay,
That's like a Spanish, style,
okay, okay.
food. That's really good flavors there. There's just a ton of places in this area. I don't really go to the chains that often just
Yeah,
because, I like the local restaurants. The flavors to
right.
me are just really good.
Are you
So
still going to Nova Coffee a lot, or is that? Are you where are you getting your coffee nowadays?
well, nowadays it's the Starbucks little bag at Giant Eagle, to make it at home because I mean, not traveling too
Right.
much, trying to
True.
honor the social distancing and
Yeah.
try not to infect anybody. Even if I haven't tested positive for it, but I'm just saying you don't know.
Right.
That's what's scary about this. So
No, you don't want anybody blaming Robert Reams for getting
right,
coronavirus.
right.
All right,
So
so
just being careful. So
that's good. That's good. All right, before this, like what when this is all over and you're able to get back out, what I mean, around here you got Stone Fruit just opened a new place in Poland. They just opened a new location.
pressed coffee on YSU campus is excellent.
Okay.
Pressed
That-
coffee, I really
yeah,
like that.
that's the one in the old house.
Yeah, yep,
Yes,
that's
I
cool.
love that. Very good. I think we went there too.
I think
Unbelievable.
we
Yeah,
did.
I didn't realize we were at so many places.
I know, I know.
Okay, yes, that is a great place. And I love the nooks and the crannies of the house. You could go
It's
up,
cool. It's
you have
really
the
cool.
different rooms. Yeah, guys, if you haven't been there, definitely go check that out.
Hmm.
The parking may be the biggest issue, but they have breakfast, they have little sandwiches, not a whole lot of menu items, but what they have are great, and their brownies are delicious. So
Hmm.
just and the mochas are really good. So,
Oh
all
yeah,
right, price coffee. Have you been to the one in the Poland Library?
I have not.
That's probably way out of your way.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, still, I travel all over the place. I haven't. I go to a winery out there a lot, Luvabella. Their
Okay.
food is amazing.
Really? I've not been there.
Yeah,
I,
Luvabella's food is amazing.
okay.
Their
Is that
dinners.
where
They do a lot of.
redhead wine
Yes.
comes from? Yes,
Yep.
I've met her several times, but okay.
See, I've never
So
met her. I've
you
never
never
met her.
met her?
Nope. Only talked on social media. That's about it.
Oh, I've met her at several different, different occasions, but I've never been to the actually winery or
Oh, you
tried
got to
the
go.
food. I've just okay.
You got to go. Their food's amazing. They do like wine dinners. That's very inexpensive.
Okay.
So those are excellent, and they pair their wines with it, obviously. So it's really good. I go out there a lot. So Poland's not that far out of my way. When I think out of my way, I think like if it's past Cleveland or if it's past Pittsburgh, that would be
Right.
out of the way.
Mhm.
Anything within that, nah, it's not out the way.
I love it. I love it. That's this area, man.
Mhm.
You got that 7-Eleven connector. It makes everything a breeze.
I know it's not bad. Not bad at all.
Thank you, trafficant, wherever you are.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard he's responsible for the 7-Eleven. So
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Learned something today.
see, there you go. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
If my sources are accurate.
Right. Right.
Anyway, okay, so listen, guys, I don't know if you've, especially if you're from Warren, there is something called the Dream Center done by, what is it, Rest City Church?
Yeah, it's by them. It's in downtown Warren. It's the old. If anybody remembers where Blue Magoo's was, that was like years ago. It used to be. It used to be a bar, and then they turned it into a church.
Really?
So, oh yeah, pretty amazing.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. So,
Mhm.
so the Dream Center. So, I just talked to Robert. Obviously things have changed a little bit, but he used to be super involved with the
Mm.
Dream Center and making things happen. They feed people on a weekly basis.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about the Dream Center, what it does, who they are, and just what you've maybe some, I don't know, something that you've seen that you got to experience as far as somebody who got helped or that type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. So basically, what it is, it's, I think where the origins, we could say where it's from, is Pastor Barnett at the LA Dream Center. It's in Echo Park. Um, Basically, his whole philosophy was, find a need, fill it, and that's pretty much what he did. So people are hungry, help provide food. People, want to, go through recovery programs. Well, they have programs for that. They do a lot to help veterans as well. Clothing outreaches. They do a lot of great things out there. Might have seen in the news recently, Kanye West made a big donation, and that was pretty impactful to them
Wow.
out in
Wow.
Los Angeles. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But yeah, the church there took the same Rest City. They took the same concept and brought it here, and they do the food truck outreach to where they throughout the week they go to different locations throughout the city that have true needs for food and things like that. And again, it's the same thing that I mentioned earlier, that same kind of concept, that I was talking about with the insurance, take care of the people. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
a pretty simple concept. But still it's definitely making an impact to the families who really need that. So
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys would also go around and go to neighborhoods and cut people's grass and
yeah,
really
we
try
do.
to be relevant needs. I heard you guys got a mattress or something for a family, or I'm sure more than that. This is
Yeah, I'm
just
sure,
stuff that I'm hearing.
there's hundreds. Sure, there's a lot of specific stories
Yeah,
and things. They like help rebuild a house for a family.
that's
Um, they, just help. They just help where they can. So
right. So
that's
I guess the big thing, guys, is sometimes it's so easy to get inundated with the negative. Sometimes it's so easy to get inundated with where we're lacking in this
mhm,
area, or the area the areas of growth that we need, or what's missing, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we have great people in the city. We have great resources. If most of you guys, I mean, I know a lot of you wouldn't be following and members of Youngstown Click if you didn't if it didn't appeal to you that this is a great area. So I just, that is what I want to highlight. I want to highlight and spread the word that there are great things being done. And there's another lady that I want to interview here coming up soon, that she has a whole organization. What started out as a hobby helping people has now turned into a donated warehouse where she's able to have supplies for household goods and baby goods, and it's her ministry to actually help people. And there's so much of this going on, and
mm,
yet it's usually underrated. I mean, what I'm saying, people don't really do good to necessarily be seen. So that's why I kind of wanted you to kind of, you know, until I talked to you, I didn't realize there was a dream center out in Warren. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
right,
years ago I found out, but
right.
that's the thing. We need to, like, if in fact, I'll tell the viewers, if you guys know about somebody doing something great in this area, and Youngstown, I mean the area between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, if you know about something that just should be shared, or just people should know about, more people should know about, definitely message me, because I want to not only know about it myself, but I want to be able to share that information with others. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I used to talk to Robert all the time, and he would be talking about going to feed this many families and stuff like that. And I think that's amazing. Down Struthers is doing something with the notary, that they're making sure that no family in Struthers goes hungry. And that's just so cool. These smaller communities coming together. I know things are happening in Youngstown, and that's the true sign of a great community. When I lived in New York City, it had just happened after a big power outage, and everybody saw how great New York City could be, because store owners were giving away free ice cream because it was melting. Instead of letting it rot, they were giving it away to people on the street. And the city came through that so much better. And I really, really, really believe that this could be the same story for us, except we're a lot smaller and we're a lot more connected. And so this is just so exciting. This is just
mhm.
so, I kind of go on when you get me talking about Youngstown Click and the reason I'm doing this and what it's going to be. I get so excited and could go on and on, because really, guys, we have such great resources in this area. And
Right.
the most important one is is
It's a lot of times it's there, just following back up with that. It's
yeah,
like like it says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be there for you. So you don't have to be religious, I mean, to know that that's true.
Yeah,
So I mean, you're gonna find what you're looking for. It's as simple as that. It's not too complicated. If you're looking for negative, you're gonna find negative. If you're gonna find positive, you're gonna find positive. If you're gonna find opportunity, you'll eventually find opportunity. You just sometimes have to be patient. That's all it is.
true.
So it's
Very
something
true.
simple as that. So
I heard that they said for every obstacle there's an opportunity.
absolutely,
You
that's
know,
100% true.
that's it's so that having that mindset is so exciting because obviously we both face some pretty big obstacles. In
Hmm.
fact, that's one of the reasons I wanted you to share your stories, because some people, it has been like a roller coaster lately and they feel like their life is a mess. And then, knowing that they're not alone, knowing that Robert Reams has been going on this roller coaster too, but yet here it provides new opportunities and things,
Hmm.
kind of,
You
you never
never
know
know.
what's on the other side.
Right. You just never know what could happen, and you just gotta try to do the best you can, and just make the most of what you're given. That's all you could do.
Right.
One thing that you can control is your effort. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, you can't control. There's a lot of things that we can't control in life, but the one thing that we can control is effort. So I mean, if you work hard, and you look and you seek and you find, I mean, you're gonna get results. You just have to be open and willing. That's kind of about it. Um, I don't want to oversimplify it. Different obstacles are going to happen to different people. Some people are going to get things easily. Some people, it's going to be a real challenge. Some things need skills or abilities need developed. Some people have a lot of things naturally. Just kind of, find your strengths and skills and just make the most of it. Do the best you can.
Right.
You never know what
Right.
could happen.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that. There's Robert Reams, the motivational speaker.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, no, no.
No,
Not
I
quite
love
like that. Not quite like that. But still, hey,
I love it.
try to be positive. Try to be positive and make an impact. That's all.
Yeah. So share with us a favorite quote. Every entrepreneur is a big quote person. I know this. So
Yeah,
share with us something I don't know that you've learned along the way. Motivational quote, something.
favorite quote. I have hundreds of them. Man, let's see if I don't know if one will come to me. I like that verse. Ask and you shall receive. I mean, that's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
Um, there's just I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Did you ever hear this one? It says, "He who hears not the music thinks the dancer's mad." Have you ever heard that one?
I haven't, but that's very good though.
So good. That is my favorite quote. I think every time I'm a member of Toastmasters and every time I perform in a competition, they ask your favorite quote. And
Mhm,
every time it's that one. I love that quote. It's so
mhm,
powerful, but there's so many great quotes. But yeah, he who hears not the music thinks the dancer's mad.
mhm.
So remember
Right.
that.
That's true. I mean, it's all perspective.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
perspective.
And I want to apologize. You guys probably heard this loud bang. Did you hear that, Robert?
Yeah, I did. I was wondering
Yeah.
what that
So
was.
my dog is besides she is like she wants to chew on everything, and then she'll settle down. And every time I get on here, she starts. Sometimes I have to lock her out of the room because she starts vying for attention. So now she knocked over a chair with everything on it. So,
Dogs tend to do that. The cats too.
yeah.
So
So anyway,
animals, they have a
okay.
mind of
So
their own.
all right. Anything you wanna any last departing words that you have for I don't know me, for Youngstown Click, for anybody? Thank you so much for being here.
I
We
know
appreciate
it
your
was
time.
fun. It was fun. Had a great time. Great idea. I love the concept and the idea. Always, encouraging. Content. They say online. Maybe that's a good quote. Content is king.
Yeah,
These days for sure. So,
yeah,
um, but I don't know. Basically, just we're all in this together. To everything there is a season. There's good times. There's bad times. Peaks and valleys. Um, just make the most of what you have, and at the end of the day, everything. Just remember, everything moves in circles. When you're at the top of a circle, sometimes the only place is to kind of go down, and it's just peaks and valleys throughout life. We're all trying to figure it out.
it's
Nobody
good.
has everything figured out for sure.
Right.
um, it's just encourage one another, and just try to treat people how you want to be treated. So.
That's good. That is so good.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, because you said to everything there's a season, I know that's out of Ecclesiastes, but
Mhm.
it also made me think of that song, "Do everything or turn, turn, turn." You know what song I'm
Right.
talking about?
We used to
Right.
sing that song "To Everything There Is a Season." We sung that in middle school. So
Are you serious?
yeah, it's a great song. It's a
That's
great song.
wow. Okay, so last thing, and then we'll let everybody go. Best song. I don't know. Give us a good song to listen to right now.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, okay. So I've been obviously during the quarantine, and I've been off. I was off work for a while. Watched
Okay.
a lot of Netflix. Um, because I've been watching the show on Netflix called The Peaky Blinders. Um, it's kind of like a 1920s mob show. I like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's a song I've been listening to a ton lately called "Red Right Hand."
What is
Um,
it?
"Red Right Hand."
Red right hand. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been listening to that. That's like the intro song, and it's so fitting for the show. And I just been watching. I binged through six six seasons of the show,
What is it
five or
called
six
again?
seasons of the
Peaky
show.
Blinder.
Yeah, it's each season has about 6 episodes. They're about an hour long a piece. I like it. So it's like a mob show. It's now there's a lot of like it's not for kids. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So, but for me, I really liked it. I got enjoyment out of it. I like the main actor, Cillian Murphy. He played in Inception,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and he was also Scarecrow in one of the Batman movies.
Really?
It's that guy.
Okay.
So he did a fantastic job as the main character. I became a huge fan. But that main song, "Red Right Hand," I've been listening to a lot because of the
I'm gonna
show.
check that out. I'm gonna check it out
So
as soon as
that's
I get off.
again, that's another positive. I hate to say positive that's come out of this
Yeah.
quarantine or in the outbreak, because it's really unfortunate what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, but still, I mean, it's why not? Watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Take the time to do things. You know, I was just talking to somebody who is a go-getter, and he said, honestly, I'm not even sure if I am ready to get to be as busy as I was before this.
Right.
And I mean, I was just talking to him this morning, but I thought, you know what? It's just funny because we are so quick to get busy. And then when we're forced to
I know.
stop, we realize how nice it is to just be.
Yeah. And everything in moderation, of course.
Of course.
Eventually you get bored. Towards after like 2 weeks of not really working or really going anywhere because you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Can't go to restaurants, can't go to like malls really. You realize it's like, oh man, it's getting kind of boring now. I kind of want to
Yeah.
go back to work, even if you don't have like the best of jobs. It's like I just kind of want to do something.
You want to do something. You want to
Just
matter. You want to make a difference and matter.
yeah, you want to make an impact, have a
Yeah,
purpose.
absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing. And
Hmm.
you know what? To be honest with you, um, nature itself cannot stand a vacuum.
No,
So I think that when we're full, we're overflowing with stuff to do, stuff to do, stuff to do, and then all of a sudden, as that begins to come down, something is going to fill that time, whether it's
right.
reading, writing,
Hmm.
or getting back out there and getting a job. And you just want to make sure it's your responsibility and yours alone, everybody watching and mine and Robert's, to make sure that what refills that
Hmm.
is good things that are going to take you further than what was there before.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I started journaling. That was something that was new.
See?
Um, yeah, just kind of writing down thoughts. It's how
Yeah,
they always say write down your goals. It really puts it into like motion, and it really helps you
yeah,
with a lot of things. So even just writing, it doesn't have to just be like a diary type thing. Just documenting certain things that are impactful.
right.
I watched during this quarantine. I watched, and right before this, I watched the movie Secretariat. Um, I don't know if anybody else has ever watched that movie, but that is one of I didn't realize because I watched I like sports movies,
Yeah,
obviously. I watched Seabiscuit years ago when it first came
yeah,
out,
that
but
was a good one.
when this one came out, I've never quite been that inspired when I watched that in being one of the most dominating performances ever. Um, the fact that in 1973 at Belmont won the Triple Crown with an exclamation point by I think it was 31 or 32 lengths, like something that's unheard of. So the story leading up to that has been quite inspiring.
Wow.
So journaling stuff like that, it's really you know really cool. Some of the things just learning about different things that you might, not think, would be like the best
Yeah.
things. Because that movie came out years ago.
Oh
So
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so you never know.
Never know. That's very inspiring, actually.
Mm.
Very inspiring. Have you been to the horse races at what's it called? That place out there, the casino horse
I
race.
haven't. I
You have
haven't.
no, neither have I.
I
But
know one.
I see that I see all the stalls when I drive by and stuff. But
I know. I see it all the time. I never been to them. Again, that's another thing. Like, I'm not super into horse racing, but I mean, hey, it's fun.
that's what
Things like
I
that.
want to. I want to go at least watch.
I know. It'd be cool. Why
I
not?
think it'd be yeah. I think it'd be
No,
good. So
that's another thing. Nowadays, as I'm getting older, it's like, hey, why not? Give it a shot.
why not?
so,
All
so
right, guys. So after all this is over, Robert and I are going to Hollywood Casino or
yes,
Hollywood Gaming,
yeah.
to watch the horse races.
Why not? Exactly.
Why
Why
not?
not?
Why not?
Why not?
All
So,
right, guys. Robert, thank you so much for being here and chatting with us.
thanks for
And
having me.
I'm so excited. Guys, this is just the beginning. As I always say, a website is being built. It's going to be so much fun. And it just wouldn't be the same without you there. So make sure that you hit like, share, subscribe, whatever you have the opportunity to do. And just remember that you're never alone. You're not alone. You're part of what makes this area great.
Mhm.
And thank you for being part. Let's see. Hold on. I just messed up my signature line there. All right.
No worries.
Thank you for being part of what makes Youngstown click. We appreciate
There
you.
we go.
There you go. Yes. All right. See you guys.
See
Bye.
ya.